Ezra J. Sheets.
Okay, Mr. Sheets, on the 15th of December 1967, what was your occupation?
I was a state highway patrolman.
Wonderful. What do you recall of that day which has to do with the Silver Bridge collapse?
Cold, wind was blowing. We'd had a post meeting that day. We left there and went to the highway and restaurant to have a cup of coffee. Me and a couple of other guys. And I just left there and started north on 7. There's a slight curve to the left coming up, right by Baird's junkyard there. And the post said the Silver Bridge fell in just as I saw 2 cars run the red light coming off the bridge. I didn't have time to respond to the post really. In other words, I seen another one come down there and he stopped, pickup truck. And so I looked around and didn't see the bridge, and they recall that, well, they said it fell in. So I went past the red light and turned down into the field right where the bridge was. And there was people already out of the cars. A couple of guys was coming off what was left of the debris there, the bridge, concrete stuff. One guy was helping another one, and 3 or 4 other people running around, a couple headed up toward the road, 2 ladies. And I just started going through the cars. There was nobody in the front cars. There was one heavy set lady who was in a Rambler there. You can see her Rambler. And there was 2 people coming to help her get out. They come running down there. People came out of the woodwork. I don't know where everybody came from, but pretty soon it got to be quite a few people around. And then another Trooper Riley showed up. He was brand new, and I had only had 2 years on him. And he said, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Well, I really don't know, just see if you can help people." So started going back through, and there was a tractor trailer rig laying there on the side, and there wasn't no driver in it. And I pecked on the side, and the guy said, "I'm in here, I'm hurt." I said, "Well, hang on, we'll get you out, you're all right." So Carl Ball was a corporal at God Bless Boat, showed up. And he said, what's happening? And I said, "Well, there's a guy in that truck." He went back with him, talked to him, but they got him out. Squads came, wreckers came. And one guy in the wrecker come around the culture with a cut torch in his hand. I said, "Don't strike that, there's gas and diesel all over his place." So he put it away. We'd burn everybody up. Pretty well, we just kind of held the scene. Baldwin started taking some pictures, then I took some pictures. And West Virginia already knew it, they'd called. And that trooper had to come all the way to Pomeroy and cross the bridge and come back down to get over there. So he got there. This happened at 5 o'clock, and it got dark pretty quick after that. December the 15th when it was. So I stayed there till about midnight, and it was cold as hell. I like frozen to death, didn't have my overcoat with me, just a jacket. They sent me home, told me to come back the next morning and get some sleep. So I came home about midnight. But the next day they started the recovery efforts, and brought a barge and a crane. I think Paul Wage's car was one of the first ones they brought out, West Virginia side, near the West Virginia Pier. And there was, I think I lost 46 in that. But it was a complete chaos. And then Big John, who was a professor down in Marshall, I think at that time, used to be the prosecutor there. He came up drunk when they what was all going on. Slipped and fell in the river, and they had to get him out. That one of them type of incidents, where I don't know what all went on. I know I was just working, and I was trying to protect the scene enough to get everybody out and hold it for West Virginia. It was their bridge. Even what was on the Ohio side, they took care of it. We got records there, got the cars all out, got that tractor trailer rig out. Then they started dragging pieces of that bridge over to the side toward the river bridge. Other than that, I can't tell you a whole lot. Other than that, we was there probably a week altogether. And they still didn't have it, all recovered. The divers came the second day. what else I could tell you, really.
Well, do you remember, let's say, there was chaos when you were first there.
Oh, yeah.
How was order established?
It just established itself after a few minutes. Everybody was excited. Hell, you just dropped 10 or 12 feet up next to the button, and then went out probably 30 feet, you know, hit the ground. You know, shit all broke up, metal and concrete. Cars, a lot of damage on them, you know, where they just hit the ground. Gas tanks and busted, and that diesel leaked the fuel out. Probably within 30 minutes, things had slowed down enough to was getting things under control. But the first 20 or 30 minutes, there wasn't no control. I mean, they just wasn't any. You didn't know who was in what car or what. We started describing cars, taking license numbers, you know. And there wasn't no drivers around that whole ass, you know, whatever was around. They didn't. Nobody hung around. The only one that hung around was that guy in the truck. And the driver, he come back. The truck driver came back. So he forgot his buddy was in there. But he just got the hell out. That's what he did. It was laying on his right side. So Bog stayed there with him until they got him out. When the squads got there, they all got together and pried the door open, get into the sleeper and got him out. I guess he had some diesel in his eyes or something, wrapped damn diesel running there. Got on him. Had some trouble seeing. It wasn't pretty, you know. It was a disaster. It's one of the kind of deals you wish to tell you had your overcoat. It's like any shooting incidents, everything. We wish to tell you had your vest on after it started, you know. I never did happen on one of them. Usually, wore my vest out, you know, later.
Was that the worst disaster you ever came across?
Oh,
in
sure.
Years?
Oh, well, yes, 46 people. I mean, you know. Yeah. I had a fatal for 4 and 5 killed, but none, you know, nobody ever handled anything like that. Just didn't happen, you know. This one there. That's one of the, we hope that's one of the 100 years or so. You know.
Did it
It was
affect?
built in 28, I think.
Did it affect you personally? Did you have trouble sleeping? Did you remember? You know.
Well, yes, you remember it. I mean, it takes a while. You try to forget, but you don't forget shit. I mean, people say, how do you get used to people being bashed up? You don't. You try to be strong enough to get through it, you know, to help everybody else. That's what it's all about.
Now you came back for the entire week, I take it from what I understand.
Every day.
Okay. So every day you came back and you saw progress.
Yeah.
What kind of order was established for the police? I mean, was there a sense of command? Was the local?
West Virginia took control of it, yes. Okay. They sent 2 or 3 different people over, and they had a trooper there all the time, and that was his job. And we assisted on the Ohio side. Whatever they wanted, we tried to help them do, you know. Yeah, but they was in charge of it.
Okay. As far as, let's say, removing bodies, removing debris, were you involved in that at all?
No, that was, they sent they had a barge out there with a crane on it, was picking these cars up and stuff. And for everybody's the cars they'd done down on the barge out on the river. They did not do that on the bank. The only people they brought on the bank was, there was a car right at the edge of the river that had the front of a hood sticking out right against the Ohio Bank. There was 2 or 3 people in it. Now they did bring them up on the bank, but that was the next day. They didn't do it that night. Didn't know anybody was in it, you know.
Right.
So that's all it was. I didn't look at them. You know, you don't want to look at.
Right.
My job just keep everybody back. Let the people do their job.
What was the crowd like? You had a lot of onlookers come in,
Yeah,
families.
Route 7 was packed immediately, they say. You're back clear up to Canada Creek plant, which is what, 4 or 5 miles. People coming out of the woodwork from Jackson, and on the West Virginia side, you seen people walking out on the ray up there looking, you know. There was a car hanging in the steel on the West Virginia side. And my understanding, I didn't watch it, but they said those people crawled up, got up out of there some way, get out of the car and get out to them. So I didn't see that myself, and that's what they told me. I was busy where I was at.
Right.
So going down but 2 pillars sticking up, concrete pillars.
Do you remember at all, let's say, meeting family members at all from the disaster?
I didn't have anything to do with that. The post would have handled that at dispatch, you know, anybody, they had family members. I know one guy get out of a dump truck went in the water. The windshield come out, he got over the front of the bed, it was a cat, you know, and got out of the water. He got out somewhere or another. He swam to shore. But that's the only one I know that he got out there. One guy was on top of a truck floating down the river. And I don't even remember seeing that. I seen the truck, but I don't remember being on it. Unless you were laying down or something. It was a box trailer, that's all I saw. It was kind of bobbing, you know, in the river.
When your conversations, did you meet any of the divers, talk to the divers at all?
I talked to some of them, yeah. We didn't talk about bodies. One guy said the biggest damn fish he ever seen in his life down there.
We've heard that a lot.
5, 6 feet long, he said. That's what he told me, I don't know.
We've heard that a lot about large catfish. We've heard that.
There was some big ones there, yes.
Yeah. But the overall, let's say from your experience, did you make trips back after your week was over to check on the progress, to check on the... Not at all?
No, we went back on the road and working the road, you know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a week or not, 3 or 4 days in a row, you know. I don't know if it was a week or that. That's been a long time ago.
Right. When was it the next time you went across that bridge, the new bridge?
No, never went across it. They built a new one.
And as far as when they built the new one, was that the next time you came down to the site?
Oh, no, we'd buy there every day.
Okay.
But we didn't. They cleaned that up fairly quick, you know. Then they got a contractor and got steel all out and everything. They hauled that concrete stuff even out of the, you know, the floor and stuff there. It wouldn't have been a few weeks they had it all done. Pretty much cleaned up.
Did anyone ever stop to interview you afterwards to get your story?
No.
Not at all. How do you feel it affected the area?
I think it scared the hell out of people crossing bridges for a while. The CS1 in Palmer was built the same year in 28. And it was there till, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And people was leery about it when it'd shake, you know, when trucks come across. People get all nervous about that, but oh, it makes you think. I mean, it never bothered me. I figured if you go, you go, and one day you're gonna do. You know? Hope you can swim good if you get out. Cold water. Can you imagine when that water when it was 15, I think that day, 15, 16 degrees. Can't you imagine how cold that damn water was? One guy in that truck swam out of there. He got out of there.
Well, hypothermia probably was an issue as well.
Well, yeah, he was right in the middle. He was close to the middle. I don't know which side he went to, Ohio, I think. But he swam out of that, you know. But he was one cold sucker when he crawled on that bank, you know. Oh boy. Gravel, long gravel.
Is there anything else that you could possibly remember from your story?
I didn't see it go down. I didn't hear it go down. First thing I know about when the dispatcher go around and told me, he said, Silver Bridge, a lady from Chinese Food Land was right there across my bridge. Had called the post and told them it fell. And I was there within, what, 30 seconds? I was in sight, but I didn't see it. Never heard it. It had the windows up, heater on, you know, it was cold out. Never heard the bridge go, never seen it go. And Don Baird was right there within, what, 75 yards? He never heard it. So, evidently it made a lot of noise, but nobody heard it, it seemed like.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for your interview. We really greatly appreciate it.
Well, didn't know a hell of a lot.
No, it's more than what you think.
Well, didn't know any names. People left so damn quick, you can get names, you know, they just got the hell out of there, that's what they did.
Well, did you institute any changes in procedures after this because of the chaos, because of establishing, you know...
No, because you would never run into a case like that again. We had pretty good order among the state troopers, you know. But you try herding a bunch of cats, you know, try driving them or whatever. That's what you have when people get that excited, you know. Shook up, you You ain't gonna get them and hold them. They'd scream and probably beat you to death. I mean, they get the hell out of there. That's what they're doing. And you ain't gonna stop them from doing that because they're scared to death. You know. Imagine what it'd be for you if you fell that far. And,
Right.
kind of wonder what happened. You know. Yeah, but I hope that'd be a good idea to try to hold anybody, make them have a heart attack or something.
Very good.
You never know.
Well, thank you very much.